What's up, everybody? It's your girl Sunshine. It is actually Halloween. It's getting ready. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and I wanted to sit down and have a little chit chat just about another topic that I thought would be really cool to discuss. I know that this probably will relate to a lot of people, so I wanted to bring you guys along with me. So go grab you something to drink, maybe some nice refreshing water, some tea, if you want to pour yourself a drink, whatever that case may be. But we're gonna get cozy and we're going to talk, okay? Yeah, so stay tuned. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit that like button as well down below. Make sure you smash that notification bell so that you are alerted anytime that I make a video. I am on the road to 1K. Come on, ride it, drink. Hey, ride it. So yeah, that's how you know my age. But anyways, yeah, so join the family, join the vibes. Yeah, all brought to you courtesy of this Gemini. So let's get started. If you don't know, I am from Tallahassee, Florida. That is North Florida. I know a lot of people, when they hear you're from Florida, a lot of times they automatically assume that you're from like Miami, because it's a huge, one of our bigger cities, really fast moving, very popular, or somewhere down south, or even somewhere like Central Florida, like Orlando area. But I am from Tallahassee, Florida. That, again, that's North Florida. That is the home of it's the capital, first of all. I don't know if many people know, many people don't know, but that small town is the capital of Florida. So I am what people would call a local. That's me. I'm from Tallahassee, but I also Tallahassee is the home also to some huge universities, as well as a junior college as well. So it is home to TCC, which is one of the nation's biggest, I'm sorry, not junior college, but a community college. It's one of the nation's biggest community colleges. There's also Florida State University, national championship winning, huge football program, great schools there as well within that university. And then it's also home to the Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. FAMU, Ralla, straight 3 times. If you don't know, you need to fucking know. That's what I rep. That's where I graduated from. So, yeah, so I had to get that out, okay? Because the people need to know what the real deal in Tally is. So if you hear me say Tally, that is short for Tallahassee. So Tallahassee, for me growing up, right, it's always been, when I think of home, of course I think of Tallahassee. I currently live in Georgia, in Atlanta, and I moved up here about probably 8 years now. So growing up in Tallahassee, it's a lot slower than one of your major bigger cities like Atlanta, New York, Miami type deal. It's a lot slower. It's what a lot of people would call country. Like, we right on that cusp. To me, it's like, because it's North Florida, it's the capital, there's a lot of diversity there, even though it's overshadowed by a lot of conservative people and things like that. So for me, I grew up there. It was kind of slow paced, but you could get into some trouble. There was not a lot of crime, but when something happened, it was like huge, because we're a smaller population. I don't really know what the population is right now or what it was, but it's nowhere near where I'm staying currently. I loved growing up in Tallahassee. I connected with a lot of different people over the years, but I also, once I realized growing up that I wanted to major in communications, I knew I wanted to go to FAMU, right? I did apply to other colleges, but after a while, the alignment was me going to FAMU, going to an HBCU, and really infusing myself in this culture of FAMU and of this prestigious university and HBCU, right? I wanted to be around more of Black people because I am for my Black people. And it didn't hurt that I was from Tallahassee. So I already kind of knew the ropes around the city in regards to the city. I knew a lot of people locally, and I had a pretty great rapport with a lot of different groups of people already. So I felt, well, while I was scared, I still felt prepared. And I just say that to say, sometimes when you grow up in a city, even though cities are small, people typically know people if it's a big city or not. But what I'm saying is, sometimes when you know people, you just know people. And if you're staying in a smaller town, it's a lot easier to be recognized and love shown to people that you mess with just because of who you are. So for me, that's something that's been a continued thing throughout my life. Because of the relationships that I have really nurtured and stuff, I was able to have a good time and a good life while I was in college. Because I grew up, so made it into, accepted into FAMU. I found another type of community while I was there in college. I grew to know a lot of different people. I joined organizations so that I can gain more exposure. And let me tell you why I'm saying this. It's because it was me matriculating through K through 12, then going to college there. I knew that I would want to leave my hometown eventually, especially after college, because I dedicated a lot of my life and time to being in Tallahassee and paying it forward. And we'll get to that later on. But I'm saying this to say, throughout this time, that added to the reason for me wanting to eventually leave out, right? Yes, so outside of just get into those organizations, meeting people there, it was really important for me to increase my awareness and utilizing college to do that, so that I could really become this woman that I knew that I was and wanted to grow more and morph into, right? So learning about other people, learning about the cities that they come from, understanding why they showed up the way that they showed up. It was such a great learning experience for me. And I also saw that sometimes with me going to college there and growing up there, for me, I didn't feel like it was a separation from some of those people that didn't go to college and just remain doing whatever they did. But because I was in that world of college, eventually it was just a different world for us. But for me, it was still in my head that, hey, when I saw these people, it was all love for me. I never was the person to feel like, oh, I'm from Tallahassee. When I see people that might have not made those same choices, it never was that for me. I always loved having the best of both worlds, because when I'm home, it feels so good. It just feels so good. And I'm always like, hey, it's like I'm gonna show love in this way because I understand you and I understand this new version of this world that I've gotten into as well. Hope that makes sense. What I often hear a lot of times is maybe for other people, there's a separation that might be created, because for me, I also gained a lot of new friendships and relationships and had to learn how to navigate those things naturally as well. That came with challenges for me as well, because going into college, I had a clique of friends and we were thick as thieves, and I began to further open myself to new relationships that calls for new beginnings. And because of the commitment to those different organizations, I was with other people a little bit more. I formed other type of bonds where we related to certain things because we were growing together as well. So for me, all of these things added to my experiences, but of course, it also gave me such a great experience because it was best of both worlds for me. But I knew also too, while I was going in college as well, for me, I started coaching the high school cheer team I was a part of. I became the varsity head coach. I did JV, and then I transitioned to the varsity head coach, and I dedicated about 6 to 7 years doing that as well. So all of this is happening at the same time, further confirming I'm getting the fuck out of Tallahassee in a little bit. Once I finish and put an end to coaching and all this, I graduate, all these things, I knew I just wanted to leave because there was so much more opportunity and more people to connect with. And the major that I decided to pursue, I knew also that for me, I had to remove myself just from Tallahassee for some time in order to leverage off of those opportunities and just soak up as much as I could. And I knew I had to be in a bigger market, and Atlanta was definitely on the radar. For you, whoever you might be, if you are from a small town, if you're from a big city, whatever, and you're planning to leave, just relocate from your hometown, one of the things I think is very important, whether you do it while you're there or when you leave, I always had in my mind that I wanted to make sure to pay it forward. For me, I came from, like so many other people, humble beginnings. My humble beginnings look different from everybody, right? But for me, I knew that my city, I know some of the things and the areas and the resources that we need there. So one of the ways I paid it forward was to coach and to mentor and to teach in the ways that I could while I was there. And that was, when I tell you, low paying, some of the years I didn't even get paid. That doesn't matter though. I'm just saying I did it for the love and for the joy of knowing that I poured into our youth at the time. I was learning from a beautiful team, one of the heads of that team that we co-created together, and we really made a fucking difference. Shanika Mungeon, she is such a beautiful soul, so smart, so articulate, so well put together, so South Kakalaki, South Carolina, Geechee, all that. I know, but Mungeon was a pivotal part of my most beautiful years as well. We literally put a stamp into Rickards High School. That's the school that I graduated from. Go Raiders and Redskins. But yeah, so paying it forward, make sure that you keep your eye on that prize, because coming from those small hometowns, or wherever you may be from, you know firsthand what is needed from where you're from, and the love that you typically have for the place that you are born, that helped to raise you, that helped you to grow, or it gave you the push to get the fuck out. You, in some kind of way, we have a responsibility to bring things back there, to bring things that's going to provide exposure for our youth, or resources, very much so needed resources for not only the youth, but our elderly, or even our parents, people that are our parents' age. Paying it forward is so important, and you can do it in so many different ways, but that's another thing that I always had in mind. I wanted to do a lot of things, and it's still so much that I want to do because I love Tallahassee for what it is as well. So yes, paying it forward was very important for me. In terms of, and y'all, I have my phone so I can stay on topic, because sometimes I will go to the left, you want in a box, hey, in the closet, that's my stuff, and if I bought it, nigga, please don't touch. Oh, all right. My first year relocating versus where I am now, world of difference, right? So these are just some of the things that I experienced, or that you may can expect, right? Everybody's different, so just sharing my experiences. My first year leaving, first of all, me leaving and coming to the city of Atlanta, I have visited many times. I've stayed here many times, and I knew some really good people here already. And I was relocating, and I had a position that I was starting immediately. So really, I didn't have time to bullshit, okay? So I came up here, and y'all, first of all, when I packed up everything, left, saw my family before I got on the road, my trip up here by myself, okay? This was like the first time with me driving to Atlanta by myself. Usually I came with my homegirls or my family driving or whatever. And when I came on to get here, and that 2 lane, 3 lanes turned into like 6 and 7, and I'm like, oh shit, this is my reality now. Like, I already was emotional. That shit was crazy, but it was like, oh my God, I'm fucking doing this. I'm here. So first year, I had a lot of bad withdrawals. I was missing my family and friends like crazy back home. And what you have to do is give yourself a lot of grace, because when you first leave, it feels foreign because the new place doesn't feel like home just yet. So a lot of, for me, I was a runner. Sometimes I can be a runner. So it's like going back to what I know, what makes me feel most comfortable. And that was going back home a lot of the weekends, making excuses just to be there, see my mom and my family, my sisters and stuff. Just whatever the case may be. Like, I was homesick. I also felt like I couldn't miss out on shit for like my friends, my family, and just any activities that was happening. I'm still at all the like annual shit for Tallahassee and all that stuff. And it's like, after a while, I lost a lot of money because of that, even though I was supposed to be saving and things of that nature. But going back, that's energy, that's funds, that is my time that I could have been putting more into myself. But that was just what I experienced that first year. I loved being here, and I was grateful for the transition, but just know that during that first year, you're gonna have those times where it's like, I just want to be home. And I feel like that should be honored, but also just know it can be true. 2 things can be true at the same time. Y'all know that that saying, we hear it all the time. I was very happy about being in Atlanta and taking like charge of my life, but I also missed home, and I also didn't know who I was outside of Tallahassee just yet. So just expect to feel those things, honor where you are in those things, but also know, like, try to pour more time into where you are to really give it a fair chance. That's my best advice. Where I am now in year 8, and even throughout the years, I made sure that I was home for the holidays and this and that and that. And then after a while, where I am now, I'm not traveling as much to go home. Now family and friends are actually coming to see me a little bit more often. I had to use my voice and say, hey, I can't be the one to do this all the time. I need this to come see me in my space, in my environment. Those type of things, that has helped my relationships a lot. Also too, I'm way more settled in my new city. It is a home for me as well here now. For a long time, I was like, this is not home. This is not my home. My home is Tallahassee. My home is Florida. But now this has become a safe place for me. I'm very comfortable here. I acknowledge that this place also has contributed to my being and my happiness as well. And those times where I feel like I need to get away, which are it's still a lot of times, I go home, or I go to places that feel like home, where my family might be, or whatever the case may be. So that's just kind of some differences of like, when I first was there. Now I'm driving with the best of them, baby. I'm not scared. I'm like, I have morphed into this transplant. Okay, that's what they call us up here. But I'm just very comfortable here, and like I can navigate it without GPS in a lot of areas. Some I still do now, I'm not gonna lie, but it's so many differences from coming up here. The crime rate is a lot higher. There's a lot of great opportunities here and things of that nature. So it has pushed me in so many great ways, but also you know, home is still home. So that's just some of the things that you can expect. Of course, as you have more time in experience in one place, it gets more comfortable. It feels more like home. But just know, during that transition initially, there will be some times where it's like, I'm going home and I'm going back to what I know. Okay. Now talking about just some of the things that I love about my hometown. So Tallahassee is special to me. It literally can swallow you whole and make you feel like I gotta go, I gotta push, I gotta get out of here. Or it can feel like this is my forever. I'm very comfortable here. And this is like where I want to raise my kids, because that's one of the things that I always said. I'm like, I don't mind coming back home to raise my family because I was raised there and it means so much to me. Tallahassee to me can be whatever you want it to be. It's such a melting pot. What I really love is because it can get a hold of you, because it can be comfortable there and easier. That slowness helps you to really focus in and connect, right? And it can be a lot of damn fun because it's 3 big ass colleges. We know how to party, okay? We know how to get there. I really love the melting pot of it. People from all over coming to the college, bringing in their traditions, bringing in what they know, their music. I love that I'm from Tallahassee because I know about so many different genres, so many different artists. I was exposed to house music and a lot of reggae, a lot of sped up music from South Florida, some slow down music and chopped and screwed from Houston, and just so much great music there. What I love about Tallahassee is we all have such a drive and hunger inside of us. Like, we want to make it. Because we're a small city and we've had some big artists and just people out of Tallahassee, but it creates a drive in us all where we have this hunger where it's like, I know I gotta make it. I'm talented. Y'all gonna feel me. You gonna see me. You gonna fucking hear me. Like, so many great local artists, and I'm not just talking about music. I'm talking about creatives, people from in fashion, and just, or people that's just, they know how to dance and move, or they play sports, or whatever the case may be. But when we fuck with you in Tally, we fuck with you. Nappy Heads, a staple. T-Pain, a staple. People like a Will Gay that made it to the league, and he's not the only one. I'm just mentioning certain people. Shit, I look at myself like that, like, and I hope everybody looks at themselves like that, but there are other people who are entrepreneurs that I know, like, that are doing the damn thing. People that even working in their careers and making huge difference as educators. My friend Marlon at Florida State High School, doing amazing things there. Friends that working at the hospitals, and whatever the case may be. We just want, whatever we do, we want to do it well, and we want the opportunity, because there's so many people that come into the city that look down on us as locals. Yes, you face those things being in, especially from small towns, where it's like, oh, you're not as advanced, or you're not on my level because we come from this city, and it's like, no, baby, we are still the same people, and we're amazing people. Like I said, when we fuck with you, we fuck with you. The high schools, the colleges, whatever the case may be, like, Tallahassee love is real. It's so real. So yeah, the people, the opportunities, the traditions, the homecomings, just all of those things. I love it so much. I love my city. I be calling myself the Tallahassee hero, y'all. If you are from Tallahassee, do not take offense to this shit. Call yourself that too, bitch, because you a hero too. But yeah, those are some of my things that I really do enjoy. Yeah. Some of the benefits that I would say I've had since I've moved, just another sense of just confirming who I am, rediscovering some of the things that I might have lost along the way that I've kind of went back to and reverted to since moving. It's really strengthened the person that I am. It's helped with my connections and relationships as well, because it reminds you that it takes real work to really maintain and manage those relationships and friendships, which is so important. So really teaching me and the people that I love how to communicate effectively and really say what I need and what I desire when it comes to my relationships and things like that. And managing and loving people from a distance, that has gained a whole new meaning for me. So I would say that. Let's see. It helped me to grow up. It forced me to grow up a little bit more because I was stepping into the unknown. So I had to form new relationships. I had to become a little bit more independent in certain ways. It taught me more about finances. It forced me to make smarter decisions and form healthier habits. Exposure is real. Self-awareness is real, but that exposure really led me to seeing there's so much more sometimes outside of my hometown. I could go home, be very comfortable, be very well taken care of in certain ways, but for me, that wasn't enough for me. And I wanted more in terms of being able to do a little bit more for myself, as well as the family that I might have left there, or friends, because I always think about those things. So me leaving that opportunity, it really pushed me. It made Toya grow up a little bit more. It held me more accountable and say, hey, I can't go to everything back home, or I can't travel and do these things because I'm forming this new life here. It also it's a new place for me to like bring people that I love to say, hey, welcome to my new city, bitch. Let me show off a little bit. Let me show y'all some love. And that, hey, we go, you know. I be loving that kind of shit though, like bringing them here, because from Tallahassee to here, it is so much more to do, so many more places to eat, so much. It can be a little overwhelming too, but it's like, let's do this shit. Like, y'all know we connect on that back home, but let's come here so we can connect and like grow together in this too and have some fun and shit like that. So I love that. Those are some of the benefits for me. What about y'all? What about y'all? And if you're looking for those things, I would say go ahead if you're already on the cusp of like moving to a new city and doing something different. Lastly, this is something that I hear often, question that I hear often. Would I move back home? I know for me, a while, and I think I mentioned it earlier, I always said that I would move home to Tallahassee to raise my kids. I still don't have those kids right now. So I don't know about that. Things have changed in the last 8 years in Tallahassee, man. What I used to know is like no longer, and it's like, oh my goodness, but it still feels like home. It still feels safe for me. So there is still a chance that possibly, hey, I don't know. The thing about it is I miss Florida overall. Georgia is a different beast. It's a different beast, and I miss the weather in Florida, even though North Florida and Atlanta, the weather is pretty similar, but I just miss certain things about home, about Florida. And it's like one of those things, it's like, because I don't have kids and I'm able to move in a different way, I always say that Atlanta is not final for me, and I feel like I want to like move to New York and do a bomb ass like apartment condo there for a year. say that, but I don't know. Or I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But moving back home to the hometown, though, is something that it's always a thought for me. So I really hope that this was beneficial for somebody out there. If you are contemplating on moving from your hometown, your safety net, whatever the case may be, or if you're in a current city and just wanted something different, these are just some of the things that I've experienced, and I hope that they are beneficial to you. Whatever decision is, make sure that you check in with yourself and make sure that it's something that you want to do outside of any other noise and outside of any other opinions. Make that shit about you. Again, Tallahassee, I am the Tallahassee hero. Gonna go always right there, okay? And Tallahassee, I love you. I love what you've done for me. And until the next video, see you guys soon.